Anthony in a low-scoring first half. With Rob Kennedy, Ralph Bednarczyk, let's revisit our Verizon 411 keys to the game.
Well, St. Anthony's, they get a check mark on both of those. They were able to run some ball control offense. Didn't score it a couple of times when they had it at the rim, but they certainly controlled the tempo both with their offense and their defense. They got home cooking. 10 points in that first half from Hallis Cook. For St. Benedicts, break the speed limit. Well, they're not breaking the speed limit at 19 points. They've got to figure out how to get some pace going. And with the Brown out, yeah, they got the second foul on Josh Brown, but it was with only 30 seconds left to go in that first half. But that second foul against Brown could be big here in the second half.
St. Benedicts will have it to open up the third in the white-on-white uniforms. Right now, the biggest run of the game, there was an 8-0 run by St. Benedicts from the end of the first quarter to the early second, but the Friars got themselves back in it. At a 2-point game at the start of the third. Maybe not the game anybody would have expected. Here's Young inside. Young lost it, and it's recovered by Ennis.
Well, he's got a big strength advantage inside against Brooks.
Ennis spinning it off the mark, and the loose ball, it'll be grabbed and corralled inside by Hallis Cook of St. Anthony. Taron Smith starting the second half here for the Friars. Brown still held without a field goal and looking way off on that jumper.
Yeah, didn't look confident when the ball left his hands. Well, that's a big part of his game that he has improved over the last couple of years, but so far here tonight, unable to find a mark.
Young trying to power his way through Brooks and is able to do so.
Well, he put his shoulder down and just absolutely went right through Brooks. He said he's got a huge strength advantage in the post and used it to his advantage that time.
Brooks only goes about 6'8", but 190. Then a takeaway by Briscoe. And Smith will let him go.
You got to be strong with the basketball. We've seen the Friars uncharacteristically give it up a couple of times off the double team out by near midcourt.
9 points for Isaiah Briscoe to lead St. Benedicts. So where do the Friars go for offense? It's been Hallis Cook and not much else.
Well, they tried to run Cook off a flare screen, but St. Benedict's able to defend it.
Great defense by Williams as Brown tries to go in the post. Briscoe off the pump fake, strong to the rim. At a timeout, St. Anthony. The Gravies have come out and put together a 6-0 start to the third.
And they've used it with their power and strength. It was Mike Young inside powering through for a finish. This time Isaiah Briscoe able to show you his strength. Here's this solid post up. He just kind of lowers his shoulder. Brooks basically gets knocked to the ground. Young able to clean it up. Here's the strength of Briscoe. Reaching in, coming up with the steal with those strong hands, and then a strong finish with the dunk at the rim. And then right here, great ball fake. But watch this strength right there and the ability to finish at the rim.
Briscoe with 11. Mark Taylor, such an energetic, fired-up coach, no matter what stop he's been. He knows this is a great opportunity for his Gravies program, particularly coming off of the loss just a couple days ago, in which most people would say they overlooked a good Blair Academy program that went 54-52 the final. But he said, you know, we needed some leadership. We didn't execute down the stretch.
Yeah, and you want to bounce back, and the lucky thing with basketball, you don't have to wait a full week. You don't have to wait from Saturday to Saturday. You get an opportunity to bounce back here in a big way.
Cook off of a screen, off the mark, rebound tipped out, and a long rebound, Jordan forehand reaching it for St. Benedict's, and nearly stolen by Brown. Briscoe to the crossover. And Ennis will reset. Off the skip pass, forehand out of the corner. And Brown able to sky in the air and then picking up a foul on Young.
Yeah, that was a silly foul by Young as he reached in. But how about that cross-court pass by Isaiah Briscoe? You know, most guys, you try to throw it that far cross-court, it's going to have a little lob on it. He's so strong, he threw that thing right on the line.
forehand, probably St. Benedict's best defensive player defending Brown. Mosley looking for Cook. Brown trying to shake free a forehand. Again, all over him.
And here's where St. Anthony's, they don't have that true low post score, so you can't really play inside out because you don't have a guy that can score it out of the post.
Mosley shut off. Brown in a scramble and forehand. Nearly came up with a steal, except the sideline was in his way.
As you said, Ralph, maybe their best on the ball defender. And forehand getting extended minutes here tonight because of the defense that he's played all night on Josh Brown. Ran out of the real estate there on the sideline.
Jordan forehand, 6-foot junior, an excellent defensive player. Mark Taylor says he's our defensive specialist. A guy that really buys into that idea. And St. Anthony's still just 2 shots up at the rim here. And now the blocking foul. But forehand, you know, he's piling up a foul here. But this is stuff that you probably love as a coach.
Well, he's doing exactly what Mark Taylor wants him to do. Get up, get in Josh Brown's space. And he's bothered him at times. I mean, look at this defensive stance. He is crowding up, not allowing Josh Brown to get comfortable at all.
He's provided the spark, and a couple times when St. Benedict's has needed a wake-up call in games, forehand's provided that. Great backdoor cut, but then the shot goes up and in. Jagan Mosley. He is the freshman, younger brother of Chetty Mosley, and a rare freshman to play for the Friars.
And St. Anthony's needed that bucket.
Ennis to the rim, denied, but we had the whistle and the foul. That's going to be the charge against Ennis. Mosley drawing it.
Well, the freshman Jaquan Mosley stepping in and taking the charge. He was out earlier with an injured back, and he comes up limping. Tyler Ennis turned the corner, and the senior with a big collision against the freshman. Mark Taylor was not happy with that call.
So here's Mosley still wincing, and look at him grimace as he brings the ball up the floor. And this one said last touch by Briscoe, and I think that's a gift for St. Anthony. That was right in front of us. So here's Brown now playing off the ball as Mosley brought it up to try to get him going. And now Williams defending him.
You know, much like forehand, again, crowding that space. You've got guys crowding your space. You got to be strong with the basketball. You got to rip through, and then you got to put the ball on the floor and get into gaps. You can't play east-west. You got to go north-south to the bucket.
And it's again with more quick hands, and another one that the St. Benedict's faithful disagrees with.
And Mark Taylor encouraging the crowd to let the officials know what he thought about the last couple of calls.
Mosley and Briscoe defending them. And right now, St. Benedict's playing a St. Anthony type of defense, and now they get the turnover. And the sarcastic a Bronx cheer perhaps here in Newark.
Well, the defensive pressure not allowing St. Anthony's to get comfortable and get into any type of half-court offensive sets.
St. Benedict's by 6. They are used to up-tempo games. Williams to the basket, and you'll have to earn it at the free throw line. Jonathan Williams, mostly a native New Yorker, came up with the New York Gauchos.
See him stretching out with his foot. Turned his ankle early in that Blair game, and certainly they did not have Jonathan Williams for most of that ball game. He's got great quickness. He's got a toughness to him. Started his career at St. Pat's. We talked earlier about some of the guys that ended up transferring out once both Kevin Boyle left and once they shut down the school.
Aaron O'Reary got the rebound for St. Anthony, but threw it away. And right now, both teams just trying to find some sort of a rhythm, whether it's a lot of whistles or turning it over or just putting the ball on the rim. And Ariri is going to take a seat as far away from Bob Hurley as possible.
Yeah, right now, St. Anthony's, they have not gotten anything going here in this third quarter. They're lucky to be down just by 6. Their defense, because it's so good, keeps them in striking distance, but they got to get something going on the offensive end.
Now we get a holding call on Taylor. Received the pass. That'll be Kentrell Brooks. Second team foul on St. Anthony. Young in the low post. Again, trying to overpower through Kentrell Brooks. And another St. Anthony foul. And if there was one aspect of the St. Benedict's offense that looks like it is going to be a good bet, it's Young in the box.
And again, he just has the big-time strength advantage against Kentrell Brooks, and he keeps using it. You know, sometimes guys have an advantage and they don't play to it. That has not been the case. When they've punched it inside to Young, he's thinking about backing him in as deep as he can.
Forehand back in for his defensive energy. Looks like he's got a lot left in the tank. But Young very comfortable, Rob, in the box. He has come up mostly as a post player, but this year St. Benedict's has moved him to the 3 position where he'll probably play in college, going about 6'7", 6'8", and has shown the shooting range in his senior year.
Yeah, but he's the combo forward. I mean, he's a 3-4, really more a 4-3.
Over and back against St. Anthony as Coleman was looking to pick up the loose ball. And St. Anthony's still stuck on 2 points in the quarter.
No, and St. Benedict's right now giving St. Anthony's a little bit of their own medicine. They have just clamped down defensively. Terrific effort here in the third quarter on that defensive side.
Briscoe, forehand from the outside, drilling a 3.
Well, Jordan Forehand known for his defense, but gets himself a wide open look from 3. Stretches it out to the largest lead of the game.
Forehand by percentage has been St. Benedict's best 3-point shooter. There's Coleman on the miss, but Josh Brown with his first field goal comes in a tip here late in the third.
That was all about energy and athleticism for that tip. St. Anthony's now trying to pick up the defensive pressure.
Forehand again.
And sometimes with the pressure, you don't necessarily have to force a turnover, but what you do want to do is force a shot from a guy that maybe you don't want it to come from.
Ball pinballs around. Here's Ennis with Briscoe and a hard foul and an and one. Cook tried to stop him, but Ennis was too strong.
Well, that is a big-time finish out on the break for Tyler Ennis. I mean, he took big-time contact, able to concentrate, keep his head up on the rim. Turnover by St. Anthony's turns into a terrific play by Tyler Ennis.
Ennis appears like he's okay. And he's going to gather his group, something you see Mark Taylor trying to get on the very soft-spoken Canadian to be much more vocal. And meanwhile, this is Isaiah Briscoe that is having perhaps his right ankle checked out, maybe his right calf perhaps.
I think it may be a cramp. Seeming obvious pain, and looks like indeed they're trying to work out a cramp in his calf muscle.
Briscoe trying to stretch it out and get hydrated. He's got 11 points, still leading all players in scoring, also 4 steals.
And with that stoppage, Bob Hurley got his team over to the bench and basically was able to use it as a timeout. And they needed a little bit of a timeout to try and get themselves settled back in, but he didn't have to take one of them.
Largest lead of the night for St. Benedict's. Ennis, a 3-point play. He joins Briscoe into double figures with 10. And the Green Bees have used defense here in the third quarter. Suffocating pressure perimeter defense. Smith again met by forehand. Brooks shooting over Taylor. That's well short. And the rebound control, Tyrell Green. And St. Benedicts has learned how to grind out defensive possessions over the course of this game as Ennis fires. And off on the jumper, Brown quickly ahead, Tyron Smith. Smith dropping it off for Coleman, just past him.
He's got to make that catch. We've seen a couple of times, twice now, that Coleman has had, if he catches the ball, an easy shot in the lane, but the ball bounces off his hand.
Williams leaving it for Green. And Josh Brown, who's, despite not having a great offensive night, has rebounded the basketball.
In the last couple of possessions, though, St. Benedict's with an opportunity, maybe put the nail in the coffin, taking a couple of deep threes. They got to make sure that they continue to execute on the offensive end. Bob Hurley can't believe how sloppy his team has been offensively here in this third quarter. A lot has had to do with the defense from St. Benedict's, but that was another unforced error on that possession.
18th St. Anthony turnover tonight, Rob.
No, and you do not see that from the Friars.
Ennis pulling up a contested two. And the rebound, Green can't get the roll. Ennis diving for the loose ball. He's able to pick it up, and he got a timeout.
A great hustle by Ennis. We've seen a couple of those plays. The tough finish out on the break through some tough contact. That time giving up his body to go to the floor and save the possession. This is a better shot after settling for a couple of threes. That's great energy right there, even though Green couldn't finish the offensive rebound opportunity. A good effort. You can see for this St. Benedict's team, this is a big game for them. Maybe not quite as big a game for St. Anthony. They still have the state tournament and everything that they focus towards, but for St. Benedict's, it's a little bit different. Yes, they play in the Prep A where they won the state tournament last year with that, but it's a little bit different.
St. Benedict's finished up last year 35-3, number 15 in one national ranking, with their only losses to St. Anthony, DeMatha Catholic, and Finlay Prep, who won the entire ESPN National High School Showcase Invitational. That's really the ultimate goal for Mark Taylor's team, to be invited to that ESPN tournament with all the big similar programs like Finlay Prep, Montverde Academy. And you need to be invited based on the, it's kind of like March Madness there, where you're selected based on your great wins.
Correct.
This would certainly be one of those that Mark Taylor puts firmly at the top of his team's resume.
And ESPN tries to set it up as a national championship. The problem is that you have so many states that do not allow their high school teams to play in that type of a postseason.
Green off on the three out of the timeout. Brown up ahead, Hallis Cook. Open look, Chetty Mosley dropping it back to Cook. Short on the three. And forehand tipped it out. Williams incredibly saving it. Ennis to beat the third quarter buzzer, did not. But it's certainly still a highlight reflective of the great defense and effort that St. Benedict's played in that third quarter. St. Benedict's with their largest lead of the night. Great hustle like that from Williams.